with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
What's as American as apple pie? Hot tubs. And during our All-American Hot Tub event, you'll get sweet savings on a fabulous saltwater hot tub and enjoy interest-free financing through 2028. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Steely Dan fans, Nearly Dan brings their powerhouse tribute to Dimitro's Jazz Alley this Thursday through Sunday, July 13th. 6 shows, 12 top-tier musicians, and all the hits. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump will get a look at the epic flood damage in central Texas soon.
That much water that fast, without a dam break, you'd think a dam would have to break to have it.
CBS's Jason Allen along the Guadalupe River.
He is going to talk with some of those first responders, some of those folks who were involved in those searches in the hours after the storm, as well as these days that have gone on looking for the victims, as well as talk to some of the local officials.
Some parting words from the president were on one of his new tariff moves.
Speaking to reporters before heading to Texas, the president said former Brazilian President Bolsonaro should not be on trial for trying to overturn his election loss.
They're treating President Bolsonaro very unfairly.
The president considers Bolsonaro a personal friend.
He was a very honest man.
Imposing 50% tariffs against Brazil seems contrary to the president's stated policy of correcting trade imbalances, since the U.S. has a trade surplus with Brazil of more than $7 billion. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A federal appeals court has thrown out an agreement that would have allowed accused 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed to plead guilty in a deal that would have spared him the risk of the death penalty. Correspondent Scott McFarland has more on a CBS News investigation into Thomas Crooks, the man who shot at President Trump a year ago in Pennsylvania.
In the months before the incident, he was seemingly leading 2 lives. Big plans for his future, according to his former professor, Patricia Thompson.
I thought he was a star student. He had his head on straight.
CBS News uncovered emails showing last year Crooks was applying to transfer to a 4-year engineering program, while at the same time, Crooks ordered a chemical compound called nitromethane, which is flammable and explosive. He perused websites about firearms, tactical gear, ammunition, and then on December 6, 2023, internet logs show Crooks scanning a web page about Trump, and 1 minute later, reading about AR-15s.
Crooks was shot and killed at that scene in Butler, Pennsylvania. On the Health Watch today, some new information from Sabrina Cupid at our affiliate WSB.
According to the Atlanta-based CDC, an estimated 1 in 3 teens and preteens ages 12 to 17 have prediabetes. That translates into an estimated 8.4 million young people. It's a condition characterized by higher than normal blood sugar levels that increases a person's risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The nation's top health agency calling this a critical warning sign for the health of America's youth.
Defending champ Carlos Alcaraz beat American Taylor Fritz to advance to the men's final at Wimbledon. And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 333 points. The S&P is down 21. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The fugitive who escaped at SeaTac Airport is back in his home state. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. In Seattle, watch out for the crash that's blocking the I-5 northbound on-ramp from Cherry Street. A crash on southbound I-5 near Union has been moved over to the shoulder. Travel time Everett to Seattle, 44 minutes. That's about 15 longer than usual. You have heavy volume southbound on I-405 through Bothell and Woodinville. You're running about 5 minutes slow there. Also heavy volumes through Renton. Travel time Auburn to Renton about 5 minutes off as well. Traffic brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup has you covered with over 300 new Subarus on the lot. Come in now so you can secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Firefighters are battling two wildfires in Mason County, one near Lake Cushman, the second north of Belfair, where KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
Under a level 3 evacuation order. Simply put, get out now. But some people under that order, like Christina Miller, are staying put.
They told us if the police come and knock on our doors, that's when we have to evacuate.
And she says when that happens, she'll be ready, as she and many throughout Mason County hope these flames are out soon.
The Kentucky fugitive who escaped custody at SeaTac Airport is back in his home state. In May, 28-year-old Cedric Stevenson slipped away from contract agents at the airport, jumped on light rail, and got off in Seattle's Capitol Hill. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports Stevenson has been arrested and taken back to the airport.
This time, they strapped Stevenson to a wheelchair to take him around, then put him in the window seat on the plane. And after 21 hours of traveling, he is now in the Warren County Jail.
An 11-year-old boy who nearly drowned at Silver Lake is out of the ICU now. Everett Fire says he's recovering well. The boy was pulled from the water by 13-year-old Gage Bryant, who jumped in after he tells KIRO 7 TV he heard the boy's mother screaming for help.
I pushed him up above me, and they grabbed him, and then I climbed on the dock as quick as I could and started doing chest compressions before other people started running over. Firefighters
say those quick actions saved the boy's life. WashDOT has canceled one of the region's 4 big planned highway closures this weekend. Southbound 167 through Kent will stay open, but as KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan reports, 3 others will be closed for construction and maintenance.
Southbound 405 will be closed between Totem Lake and Kirkland. Northbound 405 will be closed between 169 and Sunset in Renton. These closures start late Friday night and last through early Monday morning. Southbound 5 will be closed at Stewart in Seattle from late Friday night to early Saturday morning.
Road crews are taking advantage of the drier summer weather to get work done. Light rail is coming sooner than expected to the south end. Sound Transit tells the Seattle Times the Federal Way Link extension should be open by the end of the year. The 8-mile stretch adds 3 new stations south of Angle Lake in Kent, Des Moines, and Federal Way. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the low 80s. It's 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Fresh Fridays. Oh! This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
This is how we do it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Y'all know what time it is on the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays, July 11th. Ursula, come on now. We starting this day off the right way.
We really are. It is a gorgeous day. It's going to be warm. I saw next week. We're looking at a 90-degree day sometime midweek, so hopefully y'all are going to be staying cool.
It's no cuddle weather, baby.
And I'm just fine with that. You are going to get a lot of news today.
Okay.
It is a Fresh Friday. We're going to have fun,
Yeah.
but we got a lot of news to get to. And one of the top story around the country is what is happening in Texas with more than 100 people dead. More than 100 still missing from those catastrophic flash floods. People are asking, why wasn't there an early warning system? Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out $10 million was given to Kerr County 3 years ago for an early warning system, but the residents didn't want that money.
Now, we don't need these funds here. We've done just fine, and we'll get by without them. But you spend this money, you're signing a contract with the devil, and the devil's in the White House.
We are going to take you inside that wild public meeting coming up at 9:30, but we've got to learn some lessons from all of this. All of us no matter where you are on the political spectrum, I think that there's something that we can learn from this devastation. So we'll talk about that coming up at 9:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973.
Before we get to the news, I promise we're going to get to it because Ursula's got a lot of news. I want to really address the elephant in the room. I was just over on the Brock and Salk show over there, and someone from the 253 texted in over there, and they said, hey, G, what the hell are you wearing? And I read that text, and the thing is whoever that person is, who I don't know, that person's a real good friend. And they're a good friend because I took a shower this morning after the gym downstairs, and I was putting my fit on, Ursula, and I looked at myself, and I said, Self, this is the worst damn outfit I've ever seen you wear. So I'm just telling you, if you're on the YouTube and you see me on video, this outfit is awful.
Okay.
I got brown. I look like a black UPS driver. What has brown done for you right now? I look terrible. So I'm letting you know, I apologize. This won't happen again. All right.
Okay. We're going to get
Ursula's
to it.
top stories of the day brought to you by Batfitter Northwest.
And we'll start with this story. King County Assessor John Wilson is now out of the race for county executive just a week after he was arrested outside his ex-fiance's home. He had been running really a long shot campaign. He was trailing badly in fundraising with no major endorsements, but things really unraveled after his ex, public affairs consultant Lee Keller, called 911 saying that Wilson was parked outside her house and that was in violation of a restraining order. But get this. In case you didn't hear about that, while police were there talking to her, Wilson actually drove by the house again, and officers watched all of it happen in real time. He turned around and took off, but he was later arrested for stalking and violating the court order. Lee Keller spoke to reporters at a court hearing last week.
It's an awful feeling to feel sort of trapped in your home and scared about what's going to happen next, and to feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder wondering, what's going to happen?
And no formal charges have been filed against Wilson yet, but prosecutors are still reviewing the case. He has now released a statement. He says he is suspending his campaign to avoid distracting from the real issues like public safety and housing. But for now, he's going to stay on as King County Assessor, even though the county council already voted unanimously asking him to resign.
If there are charges that do end up getting filed, and if they do, it would come from the Snohomish County. If that happens, I would hope then that he does resign. But until then, I'll say this. It's really about time that someone, obviously, in local government, right, we make sure that there's going to be and can be real accountability. This whole situation really underscores really the importance of integrity in public office. It's a reminder that leadership comes with a whole lot of responsibilities and should not be overlooked at any time, right? So innocent to proven guilty, there's no charges have been filed, but I just want to really make sure that there is a reminder that all of us should be held to the same standard.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that charges have not been filed. I think he sees the writing on the wall. He had no chance. He had a very slim chance of making it as county executive. There are several other candidates, including two on the King County Council, who were among this vote, which I agreed with him, with Wilson, and when he said, yeah, that they should have recused themselves from that vote, which was really just for show. It wasn't, there's no teeth in it. They can't force him. The only way to force him to resign from his job as assessor would be to recall, which would be a very lengthy process, or he would have to choose to resign. He says he is going to stay on the job. And you're right, he should be afforded what everyone else is afforded, which is due process and the ability to prove himself in court if charges are filed. It does raise a lot of questions, and it breaks my heart because I actually, until all of this blew up, I thought King County Assessor John Wilson was doing a great job. And we've had him on the show.
So did I.
Then so my only concern is this someone who is able to follow court orders when he's told to stay away I mean, and you could say, well, that's just all private, et cetera, et cetera. But, I mean, it does raise questions. He is a public figure who is in public office. So for now, he is going to stay. And I truly hope he gets the kind of help that he needs. Okay. Let's move on to what is happening, because there is reason for South King County commuters to rejoice. Sound Transit is moving up the opening of the Federal Way light rail line to this fall, which is actually months ahead of schedule. CEO Dow Constantine says he's going to recommend launching the Kent, Des Moines, Star Lake, and Federal Way downtown stations before the end of this year. And that line was originally set to open in March of 2026, but with construction already wrapped up, tracks just sitting there unused, they're finally saying, well, why would we wait? Which makes sense. And this is an 8-mile, $3.2 billion extension. It's going to shave commutes dramatically. 16 minutes to SeaTac, 50 to downtown Seattle. It's expected to serve up to 23,000 riders a day.
Love it.
Yeah. Until now, though, Sound Transit had insisted that it should wait until the East Side line was done.
Yeah.
And that thing's been delayed over and over again. But they got pressure from Federal Way's mayor, U.S. Senator Patty Murray. Yeah. Now they're changing course. And Constantine says the agency is now going to take a rider-first approach. If the trains are ready, they will roll.
Let's go. This is awesome news, especially, and let me be selfish for a second, especially all of us that come from south to north. This will take people off the freeway, off I-5, and put them onto light rail. This is awesome for everybody down in Fed-Weezy or down there in the Kent area and all that.
Yeah. I know Pierce County is still saying, like, where's our line?
Yeah, but for sure. Beggars can't be choosy. And if you live in Pierce County, you do like this right here.
Yes.
Hey, it's a start.
It is.
You know, it's like a first date.
For South King County, which is so often given, let's just say,
go say it out loud.
Redheaded stepsister kind of treatment, when they always feel like they are the ones that are last in line. It's great that they're getting this.
Okay.
Now, for folks who are saying, well, wait a minute, what about the Bellevue to Seattle light rail line over I-90? Why is that still not done? It was voted and it was approved back in 2008.
Yeah.
And the original promise was to get it going by 2020. But remember the whole thing with the faulty concrete track ties, and because there's just been all sorts of problems with it.
Yeah.
So now the latest update is that it's going to open sometime between January and April of 2026. But Dow Constantine says the project is, quote unquote, on schedule, just not the schedule that voters were originally sold.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I don't get, I kind of reserve my excitement.
Yeah.
I like for it to just be like, it's open. Don't tell me, hey, it's going to open, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's like that one lady that keeps telling you, yeah, you know what, we'll go out sometime. We'll go out sometime. And she keep dissing you.
Yeah.
She keep delaying it. That's how we get used to things happening with the light
it's
rail.
like the Sonics.
Exactly. I'm done.
I mean...
I'm done. Until it happens, until that light rail is rolling for Pierce County, they're just going to say, yeah,
our good friend,
I feel for them.
Sandy and Olympia got me. Gee's shirt is quite fancy for Seattle. I've seen those in Arizona. Oh, Lord.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's bad.
Hanging out in Scottsdale.
Oh, it's bad.
Okay, check it out on YouTube. Yeah. Well, after nearly 2 years and $133 million, the Wenatchee is back. But this time, the ferry is humming on battery power. Washington's first hybrid electric ferry just wrapped up its retrofit. It's going to be resuming service between Seattle and Bainbridge next week. Governor Ferguson and former Governor Jay Inslee, they were both on board yesterday. They were celebrating the launch of this big push to electrify the state ferry system. At one point, Ferguson even floated renaming the Wenatchee after Inslee or maybe his wife Trudy. But all of this is just step one of a $4 billion plan to convert the entire fleet. That includes retrofitting 6 existing boats, building 16 new hybrid electrics, and adding charging stations to 16 terminals. Eventually, just making it a lot greener. So eventually 13 diesel ferries are going to be retired. But here's the problem.
What's the problem?
The state wanted to build these new ferries here in Washington, but instead the first contract went to a Florida shipyard. And now there's a local builder, Nichols Brothers, is warning that ferries may never be built in Washington again.
Wow.
And, okay, think about that. Like, we have the nation's biggest ferry system, and we cannot build ferries here in the state of Washington? What are we talking about?
What does that say?
Well, basically, the ferry builders are saying state environmental and labor requirements basically have priced them out of the competition.
So basically, this is the same boat, but new guts.
Well,
it's got new guts, right?
Yeah, well, and this is, yes. But this is the big push now to make them a lot greener. But can Washington become the national leader in green ferries? But try to keep the jobs at home. Should that be a priority?
You know what should be a priority? What should be a priority is that we do a lot of ferries here. When people come here, they should be like, man, Washington got the best ferries. Chef, does Washington have the best ferries? Or do other people have the best ferries?
Yeah, Vancouver, BC.
Vancouver, yes.
Yeah, they're lovely.
We need to have the best ferries. We need to have the best ferries and the best damn airport.
Well, should they be built? Agree. But should they be built here? I mean, I'll tell you why they should be built here. I mean, and by the way, Governor Inslee, or former Governor Inslee, was saying that, the new corporate owners of this ferry builder walked away from green ferry construction altogether because they lacked the vision, blah, blah, blah. But this is why it's important. There are estimates that Washington loses 650 jobs and $68 million in economic activity per boat.
Okay.
You're bringing out the facts here.
And I think it's most important that we get the ferries the fastest and the cheapest. Like,
okay, so that's
Vancouver's ferries come from Poland. I don't care where I love shipbuilders. I love the jobs here.
Yes.
But for every 3-hour delay on a ferry means somebody's late to work. Mm-hmm. The more boats we have, the more people we have crossing the water. I think it's
okay.
simple.
So I want to pose it to you, especially those of you who ride the ferries. Do you care that they're built here, or do you just want the fastest? Just what Chef said. What
do you want?
I don't ride the ferry enough. I mean, I like the idea of keeping boats here, but can't we have both? Keep the building. Come on, I want to find a compromise.
That is the super Ursula answer. Can we have both?
Can't we have ferries built here, but they not be so ridiculously expensive? And can we use some of the best practices from elsewhere to figure out how to build them cheaper over here? To keep the money here. That would be my preference.
Can't have it both ways.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Because we have talked about the opioid crisis and all the damage it's done to families around our state, but the state is now getting another $16 million from a drug company settlement. All this money is, just in addition to what we have received before, this new payout brings Washington's total opioid settlement funds to over $1.3 billion since 2022. But the question maybe you have is, all the money that we're getting from these settlements actually helping the people it's supposed to? When you hear of an opioid settlement, do you hope that it is used to actually help people who have opioid addictions? I mean, I asked that question because what we know for sure right now is that Seattle is using $7 million for addiction treatment and crisis response. King County is funding mobile recovery teams and naloxone distribution. Pierce County launched a program to help people in jail transition into recovery. But, I mean, I guess, should there be stricter rules about how this money gets spent? Do you trust local governments to get it right on their own?
Well, there's been a war on drugs for 50 years. Speaking of that, I have another exercise for us. The last time I did it, I thought it went well. So
okay.
I want to do it again. And if you're driving, please don't partake in it. I don't want you to close your eyes. But I want you to close your eyes for a second. And if you hear me say right now, when you think of a drug dealer, that's handing out drugs that will harm the community, what does that drug dealer look like? You don't have to answer it. I just want to ask you that question.
It's probably not going to be a doctor. You're not thinking of a doctor.
No, it's not companies like this. So I'm telling you, when I hear about the fine and I hear about this, sounds good on news. Is it going to be used to fix anything? No, it's just a slap on the wrist. So I don't have any type of, oh yes, they're going to be held accountable, because all of those folks that handed out these drugs like candy, didn't nobody go to jail.
I mean, these were the makers of these drugs.
But Tyrone went to jail. Mm-hmm. Tyrone's family went to jail.
Ya.
Generations impacted, right? They was on 23rd and Union. for selling some marijuana. They're in jail? Yeah. And you know what they would do? On the 10 o'clock news, they'd always show the drug bust. Look, everybody. Look, we got him, Cletus. Meemaw, Pawpaw, look, they got him. Oh, my gosh, the neighborhood is going to be so safe of drugs.
Yes. I just went to the donut shop on my way to work this morning. You know, I called you.
Yeah.
And there's a woman who was clearly so strung up on drugs, and she came up to me, and I felt so sad for her. And she came up to me. She walked in and said, "Can you buy me a donut and a coffee?" And the woman who was working at the shop kind of shut her down and said, "You cannot come in and ask customers to buy you things."
Right.
And so I didn't want to, initially, basically talk over the woman who was working there, because I don't know what she deals with on a daily basis. But I called you from the parking lot. I was like, should I do it? I mean, because I wanted to.
And I was like, what does your heart say? And you say, oh, I'm going back.
Yeah.
And you went and did it.
But, I mean, you see how drugs just destroy people. And, even right now, I'm thinking, like, what was that woman's story?
Let's be real, Ursula. You have shared on this show what kind of impact drugs has had on your family.
I have a brother who's no longer here.
Yeah. All right. This is an awkward segue. I need help.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about what happened in Texas.
Oh,
you've got to hear some of this audio, and we have to learn lessons. And I know we say that a lot, but really, we've got to come away not trying to divide us more, but ask, like, what can we learn from this?
Ursula, what do you think about my outfit today?
I don't think it's as bad as you think.
It's pretty
look
bad. All right. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Rob Schneider is live and uncensored at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort.
My favorite part of being married is my wife deciding what I don't need anymore.
Friday, August 8th. Don't miss this comedy legend in action.
My wife threw away all my sweatpants.
Doors open at 6:30, show at 7:30.
So why did you throw away all my sweatpants? Because sweatpants, they lie to you.
Tickets start at $79 and are available now online or in person.
You don't know how fat you're getting till one day both the strings just disappear.
Visit angelofthewinds.com for tickets today.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional.
If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Trash is starting to pile up as a strike that started Wednesday morning by Republic Services workers spreads. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson explains.
Trash cans littering the street.
It's supposed to be today.
As trash day comes and goes.
You find out how important it is when they stop doing it.
Workers in King and Snohomish counties stopping trash collections, striking in solidarity with 12 workers in Thurston County currently negotiating a contract.
Trying to get Republic to come back to the negotiating table.
Teamsters say they will picket until a contract is reached.
Republic has not said when the next bargaining session will take place. A shakeup in the race for King County Executive. John Wilson says he is suspending his campaign. Wilson was arrested last week after his ex-fiancée accused him of stalking and violating a protection order. Wilson denied those allegations last month on KIRO News Radio's Jake and Spike show.
This has unfortunately been a relationship that has had ups and downs.
No charges have been filed yet in the case. Wilson says he will continue serving as the King County Assessor. The White House border czar is coming to the Northwest. Tom Holman tells KTTH's Jason Rantz he'll be visiting an ICE facility in Portland in response to protests and reported attacks on federal officers.
Just to get with the folks at ICE and let them know, look, you're not alone here. The president has your back, secretary's got your back, I got your back.
Holman says he's also looking at whether police departments in our state are tipping people off to ICE raids and will prosecute if possible. President Trump heads to Central Texas today, where flash floods are blamed blamed for at least 120 deaths. More than 160 people are still missing. CBS's Jason Allen.
We're expecting that at some point this afternoon, he is going to talk with some of those first responders, some of those folks who were involved in those searches in the hours after the storm, as well as these days that have gone on looking for the victims, as well as talk to some of the local officials who have been behind this and been coordinating some of these search efforts.
Concerning news from the CDC, there's a growing number of kids with prediabetes. More from CBS's Sabrina Cupid.
In 2023, nearly 1 in 3 children ages 12 to 17 had prediabetes. That's higher than the previous estimate of about 1 in 5. Children who are prediabetic are at a greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as well as heart disease, stroke, and other problems.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 347 points, NASDAQ off by 12. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a crash is blocking a lane on I-90 eastbound near Bellevue Way Southeast. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on State Route 520 eastbound near Foster Island. A crash on southbound I-5 near Union's been moved over to the shoulder. Travel time Everett to Seattle down to 34 minutes, still about 5 longer than typical. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The Red Tag sales event starts this Saturday through July 20th. Visit D.R. Horton Communities or drhorton.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the low 80s. It's 65 in downtown Seattle. I'm Claire Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is so hard not to feel heartbreak and sadness when you watch what is happening in Texas after the catastrophic flooding and all the people who've died, the desperate attempts to find anyone who's still potentially alive, because there's at least 100 more people who are missing right now. And we're learning more and more because, of course, the natural reaction is to start finger pointing and who's to blame. And one of the things that we're seeing is that despite repeat warnings, Kirk County, Texas never installed a flood alarm system. And the folks there knew the risk. The authorities in charge knew the risks. They had actually written in a FEMA report last fall that a flood was likely within the next year and it could be deadly for people in vulnerable housing. And they even put a price tag under $1 million, and FEMA had grants available. But when floodwaters swept through the hill country last Friday, killing at least 121 people, including 36 children, there were no sirens. There were no alerts. In fact, Kerr County was given $10.2 million of American Rescue Plan funds explicitly to build an early warning system. But we're just learning now that residents urged county commissioners to give that money back. And that's, in fact, what happened, Gee. And you've heard some of the audio, but we want all of you listening right now to hear some of the public comments from that meeting back in 2022.
This money wouldn't even exist if it hadn't been for the great scamdemic. They created the problems that created the need, the shortage of tax funds and money. I don't trust anything, including our elections, our Supreme Court. I mean, I know a lot of people my age are having a hard time admitting that this is happening in America in our lifetime. But these people are communists. They hate America. They're teaching it in our schools. They're invading the border as we speak. I don't think we should take any money from the federal government because they can't be trusted. And I know Kerr County is a bastion for traditional values, conservatives. It has been for a long time. And that's one of the reasons I live here.
Okay, so again, money's being offered, and they're saying, yeah, we don't want to take it. We can't trust that.
We don't want this Biden money in our county. There's no such thing as free money, ever. There are always strings attached. And the notion that we would keep the money in a separate account is not acceptable. We want you to send it back. The Biden regime has proven to be tyrannical and anti-American. There is no part of this administration that has the good of America or Americans at heart. We want no part in anything coming down from the federal government. This is Texas, and Texans can take care of Texas.
Ursula, since this topic has come up, you and I have, I really commended both you and I because we made sure to never point any fingers. at anyone.
So we know more information.
Because at the end of the day, what we did know at that time was that 120 have been found dead, and there were still 160 that are still missing. And this is just tragic. And I'm not going to point fingers now. What I will say is I will piggyback off of what you said earlier in the show, and what you keep saying is I really hope that we learn from this. I really hope that we can prevent this from happening again. There's really nothing that I need to say. You all heard it. You heard it for yourself. And oh, by the way, they did take that $10.2 million, just so you all, I just want to be clear. They took the money. They just didn't use the money for what they should have used the money for. Corpus Christi, they took $15 million and they used the money for just that right there to upgrade their systems. So this is an example of sometimes, and I told Ursula back getting coffee this morning, some of you all text in and you guys say, I want to see more accountability on how the money is spent. Mm-hmm. To which I will say to you, when you all text in, I'm going to listen to you all more because you're right. We do need to see more accountability on how dollars are spent. We do need to hold our government accountable for how they are spending the money.
In times of disaster, or when it comes to disaster prevention, or when it comes to getting prepared basically for something that you know is inevitable. And it sounded like there were plenty of predictions or they knew that they were vulnerable, and it needs to start from the top. I mean, when we talk about things we can learn, what can you do to prepare? It doesn't matter if you are a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, black, white, brown. It doesn't matter. We are all people who need protection, and we should all be able to trust our federal government, our state government, our local government to do what is in the best interest of all of us. If you and I sitting here together have opposing views, but there is a disaster that happens that we witness, we should not give a you-know-what about how we feel politically, yep. And we should be there for each other.
Absolutely.
And I just feel like you look at what is happening here, and one of the things, I mean, whether it is what happened with Uvalde or here, I mean, Texas is not showing itself to be a place that responds well to disasters. I mean, that is one thing that I'm taking away from this. But when they say we are going to hold people accountable, or we are going to do, we need to do better. We need to do better here. We need to do better there, but it should never be one of those things where I just don't trust the federal government to do what is in my best interest, regardless of who is in the White House.
I listened to probably 45 minutes of that meeting, and there was not one commenter I heard who did not express those exact same sentiments. Biden is evil. He's the devil. The federal government, it always comes with strings attached. Fact check, there weren't. So I feel bad for those people because they have been so lied to. They have been so lied to reject taking money for something critical. It's so sad. It
is astounding. And I just hope that for all these lives lost, and whenever we're dealing with something like this, there's got to be something we can learn from it.
Yep, agree. Good stuff. Hey, we got the 10 o'clock hour coming up. And, okay, y'all, I'm excited. I'm excited about 10 o'clock because we're going to have former King County Sheriff John Urkhart on the show. And let me tell you what I think about John Urkhart. John Urkhart is like that uncle that you have at the barbecue that just keeps up a positive vibe, and you invite them every time you have a barbecue. That's King County Sheriff John Urkhart. He joins us at 10. But up next, we need to talk about the U.S. courts striking down the click-to-cancel rule. Next, Gee Ursula.
You listen listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's morning news every morning, what do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show. Even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Everyone needs their own spot in the sun. It doesn't have to be big. Sometimes just enough for a chair, a book, and a cup of coffee. You might have a decking issue to solve, or maybe you're looking for a trellis. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready to help you plan your next outdoor living project, free of charge. Stop by your local Dunn Lumber to get started on your next outdoor living project, or contact me personally, Mike Dunn, at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free, no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing, plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage expert. Steve, mortgage rates have been dropping this year. How could that help seniors struggling to stay in their homes?
Lower mortgage rates means seniors can now get more money from their equity with a reverse mortgage. You can pay off your existing mortgage, have extra money to help with today's high cost of living, or believe it or not, you can even buy a home with a reverse mortgage. There are many uses, and best of all, you have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Our favorite uncle is coming to the barbecue at 10 o'clock. Former King County Sheriff John Urkhart will join the show. And I got to tell you, I'm just saying it right now. I hope that he becomes a regular on the show. I love him.
Well, he is a regular listener for sure.
Yeah.
But we had a question that we posed, and it comes up in the news again, and you had one opinion, and after John texted in, you're like, you win.
He changed my opinion.
Yeah, I know. So we're going to bring it up again because it's back in the news.
Okay. Scott and Auburn, just so you know, my news boss is open today. Question. How many subscriptions do you all have? Netflix, Amazon Prime, Spotify, gym membership, on and on and on. You probably can't even name them all.
I can't.
If you want to save some money, canceling some subscriptions is a good place to start, except, as you know, it is not easy. Like, I still have a gym membership of my wife's that I need to cancel for the last 2 years. I've been paying $40 a month for
serious?
2 years on this one membership. Yeah.
You're subsidizing other people's memberships.
Yes.
That's basically what you're doing.
So it should be easy, and there was a click-to-cancel rule that would have let you cancel that gym membership. Chef, way to go. That would have canceled that gym membership or streaming trial without you having to fight your way through a hostage situation. It got tossed out, y'all. A federal appeals court struck it down before it was even kicked in. They struck it down. Meanwhile, in New York, Attorney General Letitia James has already been cracking down on companies like Equinox and SiriusXM for making it nearly impossible to cancel, and winning, actually. But now the national rule is toast, and the FTC might have to start all over again. Ursula, your thoughts?
They need to keep fighting for the click to cancel rule. I have too many memberships, and I know that I am not alone on that. And one of the things is, it's just too impossible to unravel. Who has that kind of time and patience to do it? So you're like, I'm just going to keep paying on it. And that's exactly what they're counting on. Kind of like the whole Starbucks gift card thing, where they know people buy those gift cards, and they make a fortune from people who don't use those gift cards.
Big facts.
Yes, and that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
And so, it's not in their best interest to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But it's in our best interest.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it needs okay, what memberships, though, like if you had to estimate, how many do you think that you have that you have no clue about?
I got so many. And where I get
And how did this happen? Is it like trial memberships?
So that's what happened. So if you all, sometimes in your algorithm,
yes,
you'll see something come up on Instagram, some cool little workout, some cool little, hey, this is how you your steps, or this new diet, or whatever the case might be. So you go to click on it, you download the app, and they're like, hey, 7-day trial. If you don't like it, it's just $3.99 a month. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. You get it, you download it, and you forget about it, right? And so what the FTC, what was on the table, Ursula, what was on the table is, okay, so you said yes, I'll do the trial, and what would happen is you would get a message that says, hey, your trial's over. Do you want to continue with the $3.99? If so, sign in this box. That's how it was going to be. But now they're like, nah, we can't do all that. And so there's going to be so many people that continue. Your boy right now is really for real about savings right now. Matter of fact, I don't even know if my wife knows how serious I am. She going to get tested. She going to get tested. Well, how?
Why test your wife first? How about test yourself?
Well, I've already tested myself. She got to test her. I'm going to see if my wife really wants to stand with me. Hey, baby, Motel 6.
That's
Motel 6.
Things that are never going to happen. I know that's not going to happen.
How
about flying coach?
I'm sitting in the back. I'm sitting in the Ursula spot in the back, in the middle seat next to the lavatory.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either.
next to Lois walking in that bathroom, and it's
Nick. You know how you keep trotting out that annoying Fresh Friday sound?
Oh, you mean this one?
Fresh Fridays. Yeah, that one. Can you pull this cut of G saying, I'm really serious about not spending?
Oh, okay, yeah. We're going to keep that receipt.
And every time he has a new fit, every time he has new jewelry, every time he has new anything, we're just going to roll it out.
Gee, there is actually an easy way to click to cancel.
Yeah.
And I've done this inadvertently, and that is to take out your credit card and cut it up. Because I've lost my credit card a couple times over the years, and then I all of a sudden, over the course of the next year, keep getting these notifications. Oh, your payment can't be processed. Your payment can't be processed. And I'm like, you know what? I don't actually need that. Thank you.
But doesn't that ding your credit score?
No, if you lose a card?
No, because what happens is they'll say, hey, we need you to update your credit card. And Chef's like, nah, it's card cut up.
I thought you were, okay.
So, no, I'm telling you. Matter of fact, we just did a trip. We got a trip that we're going to go to Vancouver, BC, Ursula.
Okay.
And we got the hotel.
Where are you staying?
No, look, hold on. I booked this hotel before I made my decision, right? So I got a suite in this area, but that's it. So my wife better savor this vacation right here. She better savor the moment. Matter of fact, our next vacation is going to be to Bellevue for like 3 hours and then go back home. We're done.
Okay, but
your boy about to save.
You can't go to Ascend. You need to go to.
No, we're not going to
Chick-fil-A.
No, we're not going to Ascend. Baby, you want some steak? Go to Denny's. Do they not have steak at Denny's?
You're all talk.
They got steak at Denny's.
I know. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I'm telling you. All right, Ursula. My favorite uncle is going to be joining us next, former King County Sheriff John Urkhart. And what I love about John is that we don't always agree on stuff. So that just lets you know when you love to have family over. He joins us next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients. Join us at Life in Color, a brunch auction and fashion show on August 17th at the Columbia Collective in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon celebrating 25 years of hope and support. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 17th at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Seattle Children's is leading the fight against pediatric cancer with groundbreaking research in immunotherapy. It reprograms a child's own T cells to hunt down and destroy cancer. It's hope, powered by science. But here's the truth. Pediatric cancer research is drastically underfunded. That's why Safeway is stepping up, and you can too. G. Scott here asking you to say yes to donating to Immunoheroes next time you're at Safeway checkout. Together, we can help fight cancer for all kid kind.
This is the story of the one.
As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. A deal that was approved by military prosecutors for a key 9/11 suspect and has been criticized for months has now been tossed out by a federal appeals court. CBS's Vicki Barker.
The deal would have seen accused mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed plead guilty in exchange for prosecutors not asking for the death penalty. But President Biden's defense secretary Lloyd Austin insisted that only the defense secretary can make a decision about the death penalty for an attack as grave as September 11. And now a divided federal appeals court has agreed.
Well, CBS's Natalie Brand tells us flood victims and first responders in the central Texas flood zone are getting a visit from the commander-in-chief.
President Trump and the First Lady headed to Texas to tour the flood devastation and meet with first responders and families of victims.
Nobody can even believe it, such a thing. That much water that fast.
This week, the president has avoided talking about plans announced last month to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency. We asked OMB Director Russ Vought if that's still the administration's plan.
The president has said to Texas it needs everything, anything it needs, it will get. We also want FEMA to be reformed. We want FEMA to work well.
Before leaving Washington, President Trump took yet another swipe at Federal Reserve Chairman, and again calling for lower interest rates.
I think we should be 3 points lower interest rate. He's costing our country a lot of money. We should be number one, and we're not. And that's because of Jerome Powell.
Now to Baltimore, where more than 24 people were hospitalized. CBS News Baltimore reporter Janae Reese says it's believed to be a case of a bad batch of drugs.
Officials have not confirmed what they exactly overdosed on, but people at the scene told WJZ it was called New Jack City, a substance allegedly laced with Freon or antifreeze, which is something that can poison people.
On the Health Watch, reporter Sabrina Cupit of affiliate WSB says more young people could be on a path to diabetes. diabetes.
According to the Atlanta-based CDC, an estimated 1 in 3 teens and preteens ages 12 to 17 have prediabetes. That translates into an estimated 8.4 million young people. It's a condition characterized by higher than normal blood sugar levels that increases a person's risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The nation's top health agency calling this a critical warning sign for the health of America's youth.
Walmart is recalling 850,000 stainless steel water bottles because the lid can forcefully eject and unexpectedly hit people. It's blamed for permanent vision loss for at least 2 people. This is Walmart's Ozark Trail 64-ounce stainless steel water bottle. The Dow is down 300 points. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
An arrest in a deadly arson. The story coming up, but first from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. A disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near State Route 161. A crash is blocking a lane on I-90 eastbound near Bellevue Way southeast. A reminder, 3 highways will close down tonight for maintenance and construction. That includes southbound 405 in Kirkland, northbound 405 in Renton, and southbound I-5 in Seattle. WashDOT has canceled the southbound 167 closure through Kent. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police say they've arrested a 25-year-old man in connection with an arson at a Wallingford home last month that left a 75-year-old woman dead. The man's been booked into the King County Jail for investigation of arson and murder. Firefighters continue to battle 2 wildfires in Mason County. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports.
The Bear Gulch fire has burned over 400 acres. The Tunerville fire has burned around 100. And according to Norma Brock with Mason County Emergency Management,
this is early for having a large fire in our county, especially having 2 going at the same time.
The cause for the Tunerville fire is still under investigation, but when it comes to the Bear Gulch fire, well, investigators believe that one was human caused.
About 50 homes north of Belfair near the Tunerville fire are under level 3 get out now evacuations. Campgrounds near Bear Gulch have been closed. An 11-year-old boy who nearly drowned at Silver Lake is out of the ICU now. Everett Fire says he's recovering well. 13-year-old Gage Bryant jumped into the water when he heard the boy's mother screaming.
She was like, he doesn't know how to swim and I can't find him. And I dove under and I saw him passed out in a cradle underneath the dock.
He pulled the child to the surface where he and others performed CPR until first responders arrived. KIRO 7 TV reports the firefighters say those quick actions saved the boy's life. 28-year-old Cedric Stevenson, the Kentucky fugitive who escaped custody at SeaTac Airport, he is back in his home state now. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin explains.
Before they got to the counter, his ankles and hands were cuffed, but those were removed at this point. Stevenson then made his move, ran to the light rail, got off at the Capitol Hill station, but U.S. Marshals found him on June 18th on Madison Street. They arrested a woman for helping him.
He was taken back to the airport, this time strapped to a wheelchair, and was safely put onto a plane back to Kentucky. After nearly 2 years of work converting it to an electric hybrid, the Washington State Ferry Wenatchee will go back in service next week. Former Governor Jay Inslee.
It's got the most advanced electric propulsion system ferry, not just in Washington, not just in America, but in North America.
The conversion cost $133 million and is expected to reduce carbon emissions by up to 95% by 2029. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny skies today with highs in the low 80s at 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It is the 10 o'clock hour of the show. As you all know, towards the end of this hour, we will do scenarios. And then at 10:30, I have been asking Ursula and a whole lot of people, I'm confused and shocked that MAGA right now is split on a topic. Of all the topics, there's one topic right now that really has a lot in MAGA really upset. So we'll talk about that at 10:30.
And I need to ask y'all, too, as you are listening, and when we talk at 10:30, how important is it? Okay, I'm just going to say it. How important is it for you to know who is on that Jeffrey Epstein list?
I mean, it's important.
Yeah, so but I want to find out though for in the list of priorities, like, do you want to know? Should it be revealed?
I mean, Alex Jones is going ham on this.
Yeah. Text line 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
Lewis County has now officially declared itself a non-sanctuary jurisdiction, and the Pierce County Sheriff, as we have been reporting, wants to defy state law and do the same. And we were talking about one of our favorite people, former King County Sheriff John Urkhart, this morning, and we were like, we got to ask him about some of these things from a law enforcement perspective. So I'm happy to say that Sheriff Urkhart is joining us right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so just on background, Lewis County commissioners say their resolution to make the county a non-sanctuary jurisdiction could help protect important federal funding, but during public comment, most people oppose this move. So is there anything in sanctuary laws that prevent ICE from detaining or deporting anyone? Does it stop them from doing their jobs? I guess I want to hear from you. You are a news junkie, I know. What is your perspective?
Well, of course, there's nothing in the sanctuary city designation that prohibits ICE from doing their job or any other federal entity whatsoever. The only thing that a sanctuary city designation does is keeps the local government authorities from cooperating with the government in enforcing immigration law. That's really all it does. It doesn't raise the crime rate. It doesn't lower the crime rate. It makes no difference. Even the term sanctuary city is a little bit nebulous. There are cities that are they call themselves welcoming cities. The effect is the same, but it certainly doesn't affect federal law enforcement one iota.
Let me play devil's advocate and be someone that would say that I feel safer in a non-sanctuary city because I would feel that I want my local law enforcement to work together arm in arm with ICE. How can that person be let known that they're safe either way?
Well, the fact is they're not safe either way if local law enforcement cooperates. That's a little bit different than just a sanctuary city designation. Lots of studies out there, including the University of Illinois, have shown that if people are afraid that their local police department may deport them or may turn them over to ICE, they're not going to report crimes. They're not going to report crimes. They're not going to be a good witness to crimes. They're not going to come forward at all. That's been established during several studies that have been done. So you're not safer if people are not reporting crimes because we can't solve crimes. Our job is really one thing as the police. It's to reduce crime and the fear of crime. That means any decision that a sheriff or police chief makes should be made through that lens. Somebody comes to me and says, hey, boss, I want to do such and such. And I'm going to look at that and I'm going to ask them, okay, does this further our mission? Does this reduce crime or the fear of crime? And if it doesn't, we probably shouldn't do it or it's a waste of time to do it. But if people are afraid to come to us because they think we're going to turn them over to ICE, they're not going to come to us. That's just logic. So, in fact, you would not be safer if we are overtly cooperating with ICE.
You are listening to former King County Sheriff John Urkhart joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. So I know that you listen. I don't know if you've heard us talk about Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank because he has said repeatedly that he wants to help ICE enforce immigration law. And he is in a whole brouhaha down there in terms of what he wants to do, which goes against what state law is.
They're coming after me. So, what am I going to do? I might just go out and enforce these immigration laws and with the federal government then.
And I want to point out, obviously, you have your opinion, and there are sheriffs like Keith Swank or is in other parts of the state that don't agree with you. I mean, your thoughts on this when it comes to our current state law and some sheriffs just not wanting to follow it?
Well, first of all, Sheriff Swank, no disrespect, Sheriff Swank cannot enforce federal law. No local police department can enforce federal law. Only the feds can do that. So that's number one. He could fall under the 287G program of immigration law that allows his people to be trained by ICE, for example, or the feds, to help them enforce immigration law. But that doesn't give them the right or the ability or the legal ability to enforce federal law. I guess that's number one. Number two, gosh, I really have a problem with people who say, well, I know what the law is, meaning state law, and I'm just not going to follow that. We swear an oath, not only to the Constitution, but we swear an oath to not violate local laws. That's pretty common. So I have a problem with that as well.
If you, real quick, Sheriff John Urkhart, if you were a sheriff right now, and if you were here in King County, and we all know that there is potentially a threat to ICE getting allocated more money, and there might be more enforcement that would be coming here to King County, how would you address your officers? I know you all have meetings all the time, those command watch meetings and all that. How would you address your officers about a pending thing like that happening?
I think I would first remind them of what our policy manual has said for, 25, 35, 40 years, saying that we are not allowed, our officers are not allowed to ask someone what their immigration status is. That's nothing new. That didn't come along with Trump or with Biden or anybody else. That's been in our policy manual as long as I can remember. Remind them that that's there. Remind them, secondly, that while we have no ability to enforce federal law, we will not work directly with ICE, but we will work indirectly with ICE. If they have an operation and they need traffic control or there's a hostage or shooting situation, sure, we're going to go and help ICE, but we're not going to be actively working with them. I just remind them of that, and I don't think I need to do any more than that. And I think most of my deputies were pretty much on my side about this. They realize what can happen if people won't come forward. We're like most police departments. We have a very significant immigrant community that we have to work with, and we want to do that.
And as you've been hearing, reporting around here in the state of Washington and also across the country, with some of these ICE raids, there are folks who are watching these things happen, and they don't know, because of the mask wearing and all that, they don't know who is pulling these people in, and arresting them and putting them into vans. If Gee asked me the other day, Sheriff Urkhart, Gee, you asked me, like, what would I do if I saw something like that outside the building?
Yeah.
What would I do? And I said, well, I'd call 911.
Yeah.
What would you recommend people do if they're not sure what the heck is happening?
Absolutely. Call 911. I would also say that most people, when they see this going on, they're pretty sure they know what's happening. But let me also say the tactics that I've seen, what happened in MacArthur Park in Los Angeles a few days ago, I'm absolutely disgusted with the way ICE is handling these things. The masks are absolutely beyond the pale. When I came in as sheriff in 2012, there was a couple deputies working plain clothes, and they were wearing these type of masks. And I put a stop to that so fast it'd make your head spin. We don't need that. ICE does not need that. It's a...
So that is new.
I'm speechless about this.
Okay, Sheriff Urkhart, so that's not something that's been done all the time. I mean, that is new. That what we are seeing right now is like, that's a different tactic.
That's an intimidation tactic. And it's not coming from the individual ICE officers, I will guarantee you that. It's coming from much higher up in the organization that's telling them, this is what you need to do. This is what we want you to do. Gee, I'm sure, Gee, you and I have talked about the militarization of the police. Well, how do you like it now? How do the citizens like it now when they see these armed rifles with silencers on them and masks and military gear on the streets of their cities? It's beyond the pale. I'm shocked that we've fallen this low in this country that is happening.
We're joined here by...
That has nothing to do with immigration or whether we should be arresting people or not. It's just the tactics that are being used.
We're joined here by former King County Sheriff John Urkhart here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, Ursula, there's some other things that we want to talk about with the sheriff. And it was something that I have changed my opinion because of Sheriff John Urkhart. Go ahead, set it up.
Okay, so this is in the news again. A sheriff in Skamania County, which is along the Columbia River Gorge, is proposing a $1,000 fine for hikers who end up needing rescue because they were reckless or not prepared for the conditions. She's not talking about freak accidents. This is about people heading up these steep, remote trails in flip-flops, no maps, no water, no clue, because they saw a really cute TikTok video. And she says, the calls in her county have jumped more than 500% since last year, and she's done with it, and she thinks there should be fines. What do you think, Sheriff?
Well, you can't fix stupid. $1,000 fine is not going to fix stupid. I guess that's the first thing I was going to say. Second thing I will say is...
I didn't want to be laughing on the radio, but okay, yes. Keep going.
Secondly, God, I lost my train of thought now.
You say you can't fix stupid.
Secondly, if your house burns, if you leave a candle in your house too close to a curtain, that's pretty stupid. And your house burns down. You're not going to get a bill from the fire department. That's not how we operate. We pay taxes to get services from the government. Doesn't mean we need to get billed for every one of those services. That's the best analogy I can come up with. And the final thing is, if people think they're going to get fined, whether it's $1,000 or not, they're not going to call 911. They're going to try and hike themselves out or get themselves out or not call us to get rescued. And that means people are going to stay injured or people are going to die. And we don't need that. It doesn't cost that much money. Let me give you an example. If we're on a big search and rescue operation up in the Cascades somewhere, there's going to be 40 people there, maybe 50 people. And 2 of those, at most, are going to be sheriff's deputies on the clock getting paid. The rest are all volunteers. And our helicopter is going to come in there, Guardian 1, but they're up there flying every day anyway. They need the flying hours. That's a sunk cost. So it's not like it costs a fortune to go out and rescue these people. People make mistakes. So be it. And the government needs to be there to get those flip-flop wearing hikers off the mountain.
You listen to the voice of former King County Sheriff John Urkhart here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and he is straight dropping hot fire right now on the show. Sheriff, we talk on this show all the time about things that's in the news. Ursula gives her top stories of the news every single day. Now, you who pay attention to the news outside of what's going on with ICE and everything, what are some concerns that you have that is happening here locally? Something that you want to say, hey, you all need to be paying attention to this.
Gosh, where do I start? I think we still need to be paying attention to the unhoused situation, to be politically correct, in downtown Seattle. The camping that's going on down there, the tents on the sidewalks, that sort of thing. That's what bothers me the most, because it affects the quality of life of people. There needs to be a solution to that. And it needs to be the NGOs, the non-government organizations that help out. It needs to be police enforcement. We need to, sometimes it's tough love. We need to make really tough decisions to fix that problem that's still going on despite the hundreds of millions of dollars we spend every year. I think that's what bothers me the most right now.
Former Sheriff John Urkhart, we sure appreciate your candor and your willingness to jump on when we need your expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anytime. Crazy uncle's always glad to be there.
Okay. Well, you know what? I was gonna go. Wait, time out real quick before you go. This entire time, as you all know, Chef, he no longer gets called by his government name, and there's other people in my life that I call in. That I try to be endearing towards them, and I give them nicknames. We'll give you your official title, which is, former King County Sheriff and all that, but can I call you Uncle John?
Of course, like the crazy uncle that comes to Thanksgiving dinner.
No.
once a year,
No. You're not that uncle. We had that.
The other one.
You are the uncle that everybody calls and you come over and they mediate. Like, we trust you to, hey, what do you think about this? So-and-so is going through a divorce. Billy cheated on Sarah, and then you go in there like, okay, let's give Billy another chance. You're that uncle.
I think he also likes Sheriff Urkhart, which and
no, but I'm gonna give him the official. You're gonna do all the official and set it up. But at some point, he's Uncle John.
Yeah, and what Gee said when you weren't listening was he's the guy you want at the barbecue, and if you have him there, even if you don't say anything, which I couldn't imagine ever happening, but you just feel better that he's there. That's what Gee said.
Okay. I appreciate that, Gee. Thank you, guys.
All right. Take care. Ernie and Kent just texted in and said Uncle John is welcome anytime.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Sheriff.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. You were hilarious.
I really love him.
Well, you know what? You may not always agree with him, but, man, he says it straight.
Right? That's that one family member that's going to say that you know you're going to get the unapologetic, here is what I think, and you respect it.
Yeah. And what I love is that we have a lot of law enforcement who listen to the show, and they help us tremendously when it comes to so many of these topics.
Law enforcement is a calling.
Oh,
right?
it is.
That's a real calling.
For service.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. We're about to talk about that list, y'all. And a lawyer who was the lawyer of Jeff Epstein says, I saw that list.
He says it should be released.
It needs to be released.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. Ursula sets it up next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
KIRO Newsradio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO Newsradio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cybersecurity must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new Comcast Business customers can find out how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how you get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Early termination fee applies.
This is Holly Robinson Pete for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diet, and there's only one egg with more delicious, farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
It's a new year, but many seniors are struggling with the same old problem: high prices and rising property taxes. We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, and he says a reverse mortgage may be the answer.
Many seniors cannot afford to stay in the home they love. A reverse mortgage gives them access to equity in their home without having to sell. They can pay off their mortgage if they have one, and maybe pull some extra cash out of their home, and best of all, they have no mortgage payment the rest of their life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Are you over 50 and constantly feeling tired, bloated, or just a little off? Don't ignore it. Those could be signs that your liver is crying for help. As we age, our liver, which is essential for metabolism, digestion, immunity, and detoxification, needs extra support and protection. If neglected, it can leave you feeling sluggish and constantly off your game. That's where Active Liver from New Nordic comes in. Available in easy-to-take tablets or delicious gummies, Active Liver combines powerful natural ingredients like turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract to help support healthy liver function. With Active Liver, you're giving your body an essential daily defense against toxins from alcohol, fatty foods, and sweets, helping you reclaim your energy, improve digestion, lose the bloat, and strengthen your immunity so you can look and feel your best again. Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Hartley Wilcox here from Wilcox Family Farms. I've really enjoyed meeting so many of you at our recent egg demo events. I'm often asked, are omega-3 eggs really better for you? They sure are. Omega-3 eggs are an incredible source of natural omega-3s, providing on average 3 times that of other eggs. Eating omega-3 eggs promotes strong bones and joints and is proven to reduce cholesterol and blood pressure. Choose Wilcox Family Farms eggs today. Locally fresh since 1909.
What's as American as apple pie? Hot tubs. And during our All-American Hot Tub event, you'll get sweet savings on a fabulous saltwater hot tub and enjoy interest-free financing through 2028. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Washington's Lewis County has officially declared itself a non-sanctuary jurisdiction. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has reaction to the new resolution.
During public comment, Lorenzo Rodriguez, an immigrant from Mexico, warned declaring Lewis County a non-sanctuary county could lead to racial profiling and worse.
Just let us work. Let us provide to our families.
Supporters of the resolution say it reaffirms the county's cooperation with federal immigration enforcement and could secure up to $37 million in federal funding. The Centralia Chronicle reports the vote was unanimous. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The White House border czar says he's looking into whether police departments in Washington state are tipping people off to ICE raids and will push for prosecutions if that's the case. That's what Tom Homan told KTTH's Jason Rance, adding he'll be visiting Portland, where immigration agents have reportedly been attacked.
You can hate ICE, you can scream and yell at them, you can not support them. However, you can't cross that line. You can cross that line of impediment. Impedement's a felony.
Homan says he's sending additional resources to Portland. President Trump heads to Central Texas today, where flash floods are blamed for at least 120 deaths. More than 160 people are still missing.
It's a horrible thing.
horrible thing. Nobody can even believe it.
This week, the president has avoided talking about his plans to phase out the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Millions of dollars have been donated to help recovery efforts in Texas.
Incredible philanthropic response. That's how Austin Dixon of the Community Foundation of Texas Hill Country describes the outpouring of support from all over the world.
In a matter of days, over 100,000 individual donors have already made a gift.
Phase 1 distribution includes 4 grants of $1.25 million apiece. The first going to people directly impacted.
This is cash assistance and food to people in need.
Other grants going to local businesses, responder agencies, and crisis response. Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
Just in, the Seattle Mariners confirmed star outfielder Julio Rodriguez will not be suiting up for this year's All-Star game. Instead, the team says he'll use the break to rest, recover, and recharge for the second half of the season. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 268 points, NASDAQ up about 4. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound near State Route 161. A crash is blocking a lane on I-90 eastbound near Bellevue Way southeast. Just some localized slowing in both areas there. You're also slow on US 2 near the fairgrounds in Monroe, and there were heavy volumes on I-5 southbound near JBLM. Remember, 3 highways will close tonight for maintenance and construction. That's southbound 405 in Kirkland, northbound 405 in Renton, and southbound I-5 in Seattle. WashDOT has canceled the southbound 167 closure through Kent. Traffic brought to you by KIRO Newsradio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It's 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Sarah Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show, and this is a story that has really had you scratching your head, Gee, because the Justice Department is facing blistering criticism, and Attorney General Pam Bondi and others are facing calls for resignation because of the conclusion that the Justice Department came to when it comes to the files of Jeffrey Epstein. And this is after years of online speculation, Fox News rants, all the MAGA influencers insisting that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered to protect powerful people. The Trump administration's own FBI and Justice Department released that memo saying, there's nothing here. No secret blackmail list, no murder conspiracy, no hidden files. Basically just reiterating that Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide and that they found no credible evidence that he was running a blackmail operation. And so one of the things that you've seen since they made that announcement, Gee, is all the criticism and where it's coming from, and it's got you confused.
It does have me confused. I am seeing half of MAGA really come unglued about that list. Now, I know that we have MAGA that listens to the show, so I'm going to try my best to answer why I think so many are upset and want to see that list put out. Let me start off with this. I don't think that they're really concerned about Donald Trump being on that list, okay? And here's why. There are pictures, there are video. It's almost understood that Donald Trump was there. And I do believe that even if they say, yeah, Donald Trump was there, flight logs, everything connects, that is not going to have them lose their support for Donald Trump. Donald Trump told you all before he could shoot someone, right? And he still won't lose supporters. That's not the thing. I think what's happening is they know that on that list, there are a lot of prominent liberals on there, Democrats on there, celebrities on there, Hollywood on there. They want that exposed. I'll say this.
I'll go with this. I think they want all of it exposed.
Yeah, but they really want that part of it. And I will tell you this, and this is like what I truly believe in my heart. I believe if that list ever does come out, which it won't, I do believe that most of the people that are on that list or that was at those parties are people on the left, the Hollywood. Now, hear me out for a second. Hollywood has always and still is a place of some of the most obscene stuff that happens in the world. And I think that if that list were to come out, which, again, it never will, because there's so many people that would be a part of that. Look, let's be real. Oprah used to rock with that dude. Bill Gates used to rock with that dude.
More reason to, I mean, because they're protecting the powerful and the elite, and once again, the actual victims. And one of those victims, didn't she recently die by suicide?
Virginia Giuffre, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, the torment and the anguish that these people are getting, where there's no justice, there's no one being held accountable because they are rich and powerful. I mean, frankly, I absolutely think that this list should be released, and Pam Bondi is a flat-out liar. So the Attorney General and the FBI Director, Kash Patel, had both previously promised to release the Epstein files and expose the truth. And that was something that helped rally support during the election, something they talked about leading up to the election, saying yes. But now to say all of a sudden, no, there's nothing here?
I'm going to do something that is uncharacteristic. I'm going to stick up for Pam Bondi, and I'm going to stick up for Kash Patel. They don't have a choice.
You have a choice. You have a choice. You're saying either release it and lose your job?
No. That's not what I'm saying. They don't have a choice but to say one thing and say another, because that's how Donald Trump rolls. Donald Trump says things 1 minute, changes the next minute, changes the next minute. And if you are a loyalist that is put in place, which we know, Donald Trump has put loyalists, people who are loyal to him, in place. And you know what their job is? No matter what the play is, you always choose what Donald Trump has said. This is why a dictatorship, this is why North Korea and Russia and China, this is why there used to be a time in America that we were against what we are seeing right now. You can't pick and choose. So right now, you're seeing the same playbook, and people are trying to blame Pam Bondi. Look.
I mean, look at this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But look at this. I'm just seeing right now on Fox News, I'm looking at a write-up talking about in December of 2023, before Kash Patel became the FBI director. This is a quote. He says, because of who is on that list, you don't think that, he says, Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list. And he criticized the Republican-led House at the time for failing to get Epstein's list. And he says, what the hell are House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get that list. We can't even get basic documents out. This is why America hates Congress. And then all of a sudden, nope, nothing here. Don't look over here. Jeffrey Epstein's former attorney, Alan Dershowitz, says it's not true.
I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely on the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
He was on this Sean Spicer show.
Yeah. MAGA does not care about Trump being on the list. Their MAGA is like this. Hey, Trump, you're on the list? Fine, whatever. We love you no matter what you done. Doesn't matter. Right? You guys, they don't care about him paying off Stormy Daniels. They don't care about none of that. What they care about is a lot of people that they believe that's on that list. They believe Hollywood is on that list. And by the way, since we're going to rack them and stack them, let's be real. They started investigating Jeffrey Epstein in 2005. This is 2025. And there's still no list out. Epstein made an initial plea during the Obama administration back in 2008, in the beginning of that. And then in 2015, there were lawsuits filed on this. So this topic of Epstein, and the reason why I believe, I'm trying to understand, I believe MAGA is really unglued because this is way deeper than just whether or not it's Donald Trump. There are
people.
Yes.
Sick people that are, people have gotten divorces over this.
Yes. And I know who you're referring to. But Chef put out this list of what actually exists. There's flight logs, all the records of passengers who flew on Epstein's private jets. There are court documents that have unsealed. Some names have been unsealed. There is a black book. Marjorie Taylor Greene even mentioned this black book. It's Epstein's personal address book that was leaked years ago, containing hundreds of contacts, including royalty, billionaires, politicians, journalists. Release it.
It's deeper than that, y'all. It's deeper. Your actors, your actresses,
Release
the rappers, the singers. No. And by the way, there are people who I believe, it's like, have you all ever went to, and Chef, I know you have, you ever gone to the party and there was a lot of bad stuff happening at the party, but you did not partake?
Yeah.
I believe that too. There will be people that were at those parties, on that list, that didn't partake, but it would stain their name. And that's why I believe MAGA's like, nah. Let that list go. We don't care about Donald Trump being there. There's pictures, there's videos.
Yeah. There's 10,000 videos and images.
They don't care about Donald Trump. They care about anybody on the left that's on that list. We want them exposed.
Well, I want to know, you listening, do you care about who's on that list? Do you want it released?
Oh, they want that released. Do you want it released? I want it released. Everybody want it released. But boy, one last thing. The powers that be don't want that list released, and it's not just Donald Trump. I think there's more people powerful than Donald Trump behind the scenes that are willing to do things to make sure that list will never get exposed. Gee and Ursula, scenarios next.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
A big story developing this morning.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
Get the latest live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Huge impacts for Boeing and Boeing workers.
The office, the gym, anywhere.
Water, like taxes, goes all the way down to the bottom, so it'll either come out of the employee's paycheck or the lack of raise.
KIRO News Radio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Battle of the Brands Hot Tub Expo is back. Tacoma Mall parking lot. Top brands competing for your business. Deep discounts from Jacuzzi Hot Tubs, Dreammaker Spas, Nordic Hot Tubs, Sundance Spas, even Hydro Pool self-cleaning swim spas. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. Save thousands. Hot tubs from $99 a month. Brands compete. You save. The Battle of the Brands Expo presented by Aquaquip. Tacoma Mall parking lot. On now. Qualified buyers with credit approval pay just $99 a month for a Dreammaker Cabana with $500 deposit, 10.99% and 144-month term. Other offers available. See us at Tacoma Mall for more details.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Tired of sitting on your suitcase? 2 words, packing cubes. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway, an alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Now open and free through summer.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I got to call it out real quick. Hey, Chef, our MAGA brothers and sisters texted in. They showing.
Thank you for that.
They're showing us love.
Yes. Even on YouTube, you got MAGA folks saying, "Oh yeah, I want the list. I can't believe I agree with Gee."
All right, let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Okay, Ursula, this is right up your alley. My girlfriend's family is having a party, but one of my best friends is having one too. I'd rather go with my friends. My girlfriend insists I go to her family's party because I haven't met much of her family yet. I ain't gonna lie, it seems boring. And the bigger problem is, the parties are on the same day at the same time, about 3 hours apart. So I can't even go to both. I'm more comfortable going to my friends' parties. And I feel like I can meet my girlfriend's family at any time. The more my girlfriend nags about it, the more it makes me not want to go with her. Am I a bad boyfriend if I don't attend her family party? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up to bat first.
He sounds very immature. The fact that he says the more she nags me sounds like it's a lack of respect.
I mean, maybe he should have used a different word, because you lose when you say nag.
Yeah, already I'm like, dude, you don't have a lot. You're just not that into her. If you're even asking whether you should try to make an effort to go to her family party when she has told you that it is really important for her and that you haven't had a chance to really get to know her family.
Yeah.
No, what you're saying is you're prioritizing your bros, and you, I think, have answered the question.
It's been
don't care about
it's
her
been
that
a
much.
long time, but I 1,000,000% disagree with you. He's into her. He could be still into her. He just don't want to go to that party. And he wants to go to his partners for the party. He just feels more
sounds
comfortable.
immature to me.
Oh.
I'm telling you, if I'm in that relationship and my boyfriend says, "Yeah, I know it's really important to you, but I'd rather hang out with my dudes, and this is a family thing." For me, family always comes first. That would be my first red flag. I would be like, "Yeah, this is not for me. These not for me."
Well, I'll give you another perspective though. I mean, I couldn't like put this into words until my late 20s, but I get real bad social anxiety at parties sometimes. And, meeting a whole family in one setting at a party might not be the best way to meet them. It's like good to meet mom and dad over dinner, something like that. You can meet Uncle Rick and whoever else another time, but he might just not want to go to a party where all of the family is there because that's overwhelming.
Then put your big boy pants on and tell her that and say, you know what? It might be better if I meet them more one-on-one. I think I would make a better impression.
Well, you really got triggered by that word nag, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, I think that word nag.
Nag, and then also family. And then I would rather hang out with the guys. I'm reminded that, if that is the choice, I could just see already, I can project and then predict what would happen in the future.
So wait a minute, before I get to Nick. So Ursula, he could be a great boyfriend all the way around, but this moment of hey, I would rather go to my friend's party instead of your family's party.
Who said he's a great boyfriend all around?
I mean, I'm just saying, no. I'm saying that what if that is the case? What if he's great in every other way except this moment?
If it's a one-off and it's really important for him to be with his friends, then the girlfriend needs to be more understanding.
Okay.
But that's not what the impression I got with the letter you wrote, read.
And tell the truth.
Yes.
Your impression got swayed by nag.
Yes. And wanting to hang out with the bros instead of family.
It didn't even say bros. It said.
I put it there.
Yeah. Nick, I should have got rid of the word nag.
I took some license.
If the family gathering is that important to you, I'd find a new guy who puts as much value in it as you do. If he wants to go hang out with the bros or boys, as Ursula said, instead of meeting you and the fam, that's fine. But don't keep going down that road if it doesn't make you happy. And maybe try and avoid the word nag or naggy when you're going to address this to him, because that'll immediately switch off the relationship.
How about harping, Ursula?
Harping is also the same thing. How about she's really encouraging me to go hang out with her family. And I will say this, especially if family is important to someone that you're trying to impress, yes, you need to do all you can to try to make that great first impression.
Do you think nagging is real?
Oh.
Do I think nagging is real? Yes.
I want to take this time.
Yes.
I know I told my wife that we going to the the Motel 6 in Denny's. I just want to say one of the best things about her is that she doesn't nag. Like that right there. I can't handle that.
Yes.
I cannot.
I would say that you probably do nag. Why does nagging have to be something that only women do?
I would probably say
because we don't give out honey-do lists.
I nag more than
she. Oh my God!
Yeah. No, for real.
Yes.
Ladies, fellas, whoever, for all of y'all that don't nag, man, you need to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Nagging is so real, Ursula. Like when you said that, I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah. I mean, nagging is annoying.
No way. I'm not dealing with no nagging.
Yes.
Hell no.
But do you think it's something that only women do?
No, I think men do it too.
Yep, exactly.
The ones that sit down and pee. Coming up next, we got more of the Gee Ursula Show.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
The civil authorities have issued a required monthly test for Benton, WA, Franklin, WA, and all of Washington beginning at 10:50 a.m. and ending at 11:50 a.m. This is a test. This is only a test of the emergency alert system in Washington State issued by the Washington State Emergency Operations Center. In the event of an emergency, this system would bring you important information. The following tones will conclude this test from the Washington State Emergency Operations Center.
Makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition too. For them, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app. Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. A federal appeals court has thrown out an agreement that would have allowed the September 11th mastermind to plead guilty to avoid execution. The deal for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and others was hoped to wrap up more than 2 decades ago, but it was a controversial deal, and many victims' families objected. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
It was the prior Secretary of the Defense, Lloyd Austin, who sought to withdraw from the agreement. But the military commission thought that the case and the plea had already gone so far that, in fact, it should stay in place.
The men also would have been obligated to answer any lingering questions that families had about the 9/11 attacks. President Trump is touring the flood devastation in Texas today. CBS's Jason Allen reports.
This afternoon, he is going to talk with some of those first responders, some of those folks who were involved in those searches in the hours after the storm, as well as these days that have gone on looking for the victims, as well as talk to some of the local officials who have been behind this and been coordinating some of these search efforts.
$30 million in donations has poured in for the disaster relief effort in Texas. Chris Fox says that.
Incredible philanthropic response. That's how Austin Dixon of the Community Foundation of Texas Hill Country describes the outpouring of support from all over the world.
In a matter of days, over 100,000 individual donors have already made a gift.
Phase 1 distribution includes 4 grants of $1.25 million million apiece, the first going to people directly impacted.
This is cash assistance and food to people in need.
Other grants going to local businesses, responder agencies, and crisis response. Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
Much of the West is baking under triple-digit temperatures. CBS's Chris Van Cleve reports Phoenix could hit 108 today.
Over the last 5 years, weeks-long stretches of extreme temperatures have become more common in the Phoenix area. Heat so hot, even hardy saguaro cactus are dying at accelerated rates, essentially dropping dead from heat stroke.
The extreme heat could last for several days. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass signed a new executive directive aimed at strengthening protections for immigrant communities after what she called chaotic federal raids.
I mean, this is about provoking fear and terror in our city. This is about demonstrating to Los Angeles that we're the federal government and we can come in and do whatever we want, whenever we want, wherever we want.
On Wall Street, stocks are lower over the latest tariff concerns, particularly with Canada. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The fugitive who escaped at SeaTac Airport is back in his home state. Details coming up. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk. A crash has traffic alternating on State Route 7 southbound near the Pierce County town of Alder. This is also known as the Mountain Highway East Road near the Nisqually State Park trailhead. You are slow on US 2 near the fairgrounds and in Monroe, and also on I-5 near JBLM. Remember, 3 highways will close tonight for maintenance and construction. That includes southbound 405 in Kirkland, northbound 405 in Renton, and southbound I-5 in Seattle. WashDOT has canceled the southbound 167 closure through Kent. Traffic brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Firefighters are battling 2 wildfires in Mason County, one near Lake Cushman, the second north of Belfair, where KIRO 7 TV's Jay Chapman reports.
At least 50 homes are under a level 3 evacuation order. Simply put, get out now. But some people under that order, like Christina Miller, are staying put.
They told us if the police come and knock on our doors, that's when we have to evacuate.
And she says when that happens, she'll be ready, as she and many throughout Mason County hope these flames are out soon.
The Kentucky fugitive who escaped custody at SeaTac Airport is back in his home state. In May, 28-year-old Cedric Stevenson slipped away from contract agents at the airport, jumped onto light rail, and got off in Seattle's Capitol Hill. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Binlavin reports Stevenson has been arrested now and taken back to the airport.
This time, they strapped Stevenson to a wheelchair to take him around, then put him in the window seat on the plane. And after 21 hours of traveling, he is now in the Warren County Jail.
An 11-year-old boy who nearly drowned at Silver Lake is now out of the ICU. Everett Fire says he's recovering well. That boy was pulled from the water by 13-year-old Gage Bryant, who jumped in after hearing the boy's mother screaming for help.
I pushed him up above me, and they grabbed him, and then I climbed on the dock as quick as I could and started doing chest compressions before other people started running over.
Firefighters tell KIRO 7 TV those quick actions saved the boy's life. WashDOT has canceled one of those region's 4 planned highway closures this week, as I mentioned earlier, and we're finding out why. They tell us that they wanted to ease the burden on drivers with all the road work being done on other freeways. Light rail is coming sooner than expected to the south end. Sound Transit tells the Seattle Times the Federal Way Link extension should open by the end of the year. The 8-mile stretch will add 3 new stations south of Angle Lake in Kent, Des Moines, and downtown Federal Way. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It is 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Nagging was the topic to close out the 10 o'clock hour, and I just found out Ursula does not like that word. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Yeah, because I think it's often put as a label on women when men nag quite a bit too, and I find it as annoying as you do. So we found that out.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are on our text line agreeing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ursula, what's going on in this 11 o'clock hour?
Well, we've got a lot of news to get to. And coming up at 11:30, we do agree to disagree. And one of the things that we are going to ask about is
it time to let go?
Is it time to let go of what?
The term African American.
Oh my gosh. No, we're not doing that one. What is that? I see that on the list. Are we doing that? Oh my gosh. Can you tell that I have already basically arrived at home base? It is Friday.
Wait a minute. Ursula left me.
Usually you're rounding third. Text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We always love it when you weigh in on any of our topics. And of course, we love it. Apparently, you got a lot of people going on YouTube as well. But let's get going.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So parking is always an issue, no matter where you live. And Bothell has been dealing with this as well, but they made one of the boldest land use moves in the region, and it's likely to have effects all across Washington. So in a vote this week, it was 5-1, the Bothell City Council approved two big changes. Basically, they got rid of mandatory off-street parking in new developments. So anytime a new big building comes up, they don't have to make sure that there's enough off-street parking available. And they legalized neighborhood corner stores and cafes in every residential zone. This is in Bothell. So the Urbanist is reporting that this makes Bothell the first city in either King or Snohomish County to fully ditch parking mandates, and only the fifth in the entire state. Wait, you love it?
Mm-hmm. I love the making sure they got the little corner stores and opening it up, and it just kind of, yeah.
I don't mind the corner stores. But eliminating mandatory off-street parking in new developments, adding tons of people into these buildings and assuming that they are not going to need parking and that they're all going to ride public transit?
Well, but I bet you they're around there, you're going to have the ability to pay for parking. Example, when I go down to Point Ruston and I'm down there, hey, you want to be able to stay there for an hour? You want to do that? Great. You're going to pay for parking. And then if you're going to the movie theaters or if you're going to the restaurants, you can go and get that validated. I bet you it's the same thing in this area.
What is one of the big reasons that you don't go downtown?
Okay. You want me to keep it all the way a buck with you?
Yeah.
I don't mind paying for parking. I mind paying for parking and always feeling like I am gambling, coming back to my car, my windows being busted out. That's the real reason. I don't like the different parking lots in which choices I have.
So you're worried about crime downtown?
Yes.
Okay. More so than parking.
I don't look. I when I go to Point Ruston, I pay for parking every time, and if I go to the restaurant, I go get it validated. I'm fine with that. My problem is downtown is way expensive. You're not parking downtown Seattle.
For me, lack of the ease of parking. Yeah, I don't want my car to be vandalized either, but the lack of ease of parking or the cost of parking is one of the big reasons why I will always go to a place where they provide parking. But the flip side of that is one of the reasons why Bothell is doing this is basically a single structured parking stall can cost up to $60,000 to build. That's what they're saying. And by removing these mandates, Bothell is basically saying, let the developers build based on demand, not outdated rules that assume that everyone drives everywhere. And to put it in other words, Mayor Mason Thompson says parking minimums essentially tax new housing and new businesses and subsidize more traffic and more pollution. And the mayor says, I've never had a single Bothell resident tell me we need more traffic. But the part I do love is the idea of more walkable neighborhoods.
Boom!
That I love. So the cafe, that part I understand.
That's what you're going to get.
Yeah, the cafes, the corner stores, childcare centers, bike shops in these neighborhoods so that you don't have to get into a car to drive elsewhere. You can walk to all these different things. I love that. I'm just not convinced that having zero parking available is going to be beneficial.
The people
There's
over,
going to be pain.
I guarantee you this. I wish and if you're listening right now and you live over there, please text us, let us know. I bet you they want this. Because guess what happens? If you're just going to come and cause problems, you're not coming to cause problems knowing that you got to pay to park. So there are people that want that area walkable. They want that area to be able to slip and slide, pull up to different stores. I know this environment. I'm telling you, this is the reason why I want to go move to Point Ruston. Because I like the walkable area. I like to get out and walk and say, hello, neighbors.
I'm kind of on the other side of both of you. Because Ursula, like the mayor pointed out, this is not a mandate that there can't be parking.
Yes.
But currently the law says you have to build parking for every single unit. And I think it was Angela who told me, a developer friend of hers, builds properties both with parking and without parking. These are residential. The ones without parking don't sell.
That's right.
So he's not going to be building them anymore.
That's right.
And so I think developers would take that into account. And Gee, I want to challenge you on the neighborhood cafes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I want neighborhood cafes in your neighborhood, but I don't really want them in my neighborhood.
I want them in my neighborhood.
And here's why. Like,
I want them in mine.
I'll be honest.
I want them in mine, baby.
You want people parked in front of your house all the time that aren't from your neighborhood.
Again, there's no parking, so they're walking.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I just had somebody from Bothell text in and said, there is no paid parking in Bothell. This is a disaster. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I stand corrected. If that's the case, that would be a disaster if there's no opportunity to park down there.
And Cletus in Federal Way says, good luck renting an apartment with no parking for visitors. Have you ever been to an apartment building where there is no park? I went and visited my friend Sharon when she was living in these beautiful condos.
Okay.
And I went round and my friend Sharon. And I went round and round and round and round and round. And the moment I finally parked somewhere, beep, beep, you can't park there.
I know that beep, beep, too.
You know how frustrating? It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And I think a lack of parking, I think it's going to have, I understand what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things in the lack of affordable housing is if you're talking about, why does it have to cost $60,000 per parking spot to build? That would be one thing. But when you're dealing with all of that and having this mandatory situation, just know that there are a lot of people going to say, I can't do it.
I just want to say this. Right now where we live, Ursula, we have to, if we just want to go outside, just go for a walk, we don't have that. I got to go in my backyard and just hang out. But this is what I want. I want to wake up, have some coffee, walk outside, and walk with the energy, little kids playing, and all the. So that's why when I go to Point Ruston, Ursula, and it's right there at the water, I need that in my life. You would enjoy me more as a co-host if I lived right there. I would come in, and by the way, some of you MAGA folks would be like, Gee's got TDS. Do you know that it would cure my TDS?
Okay, let's talk about the job market.
Okay.
Because new numbers are showing that layoffs are technically down. But for anyone out of work, the real story is right now that it's taking longer to land a job. You actually sent this article. So initial jobless claims dropped slightly last week. But continuing claims, we're talking about the number of people still on unemployment, just hit their highest level since late 2021. It's that hard right now. Nearly 2 million Americans are stuck in job limbo. So I kind of tried to dig a little bit deeper and looked into, okay, what is actually going on? So a lot of companies are saying right now, we got a hiring freeze. We don't know tariffs, so, what's going to happen? What does this mean? So areas like tech, retail, manufacturing, and that's not just because of increasing costs, political gridlock, but tariff uncertainty. And we've heard about that. It's kind of changing things. And then we talk about it every day. AI is replacing entry-level work, especially in things like software, marketing, data analysis. And there are also older workers who are staying in the workforce longer. I mean, this is worrisome to those of us who have adult kids.
Yeah. Cletus just said something that I was actually getting ready to say. When we are obviously talking about this, there are a lot of people that are holding on and are staying in jobs right now because they know. There are people that are sending out massive applications on LinkedIn. You know what kind of hits you're not getting. But the one point that I wanted to make was on top of what we're talking about right here is something that you have in your news all the time. There are a lot of small businesses that are just not making it.
Yep.
It is hard to be a small business owner, especially in the city of Seattle. We have restaurants that have been around for a long time. We just recently made the announcement, you did, Ursula, about the James Beard award-winning restaurant. We're talking about fabulous places.
Yeah.
We are really shifting into remember what they used to say during COVID, the new normal? This is scary. We are really heading that way.
Well, and we talk about AI a lot, and now AI can actually code. So what's left? What are you telling? It used to be, go to coding school. You can't go wrong if you get a job in high tech. So what should you be telling folks? That is a question that is hitting colleges and tech grads because AI tools like ChatGPT, which is now becoming my best friend, basically, they are able to do a lot of the entry-level work. And at UW's Paul G. Allen School of Computer Science, the message is clear. According to the director there, coding is dead. AI can do that. That's a quote.
Wow.
So instead, you can read about this in the Seattle Times, UW is now teaching students how to think creatively, solve complex problems, and tell computers what to do, not just how. And so students are even allowed to use AI tools in class as long as they can cite them, and it helps them work a lot faster. I'm just telling you, it is revolutionizing a lot of the work that we do, but it is a tough job market. Microsoft is cutting staff. Amazon's CEO says AI is going to shrink headcount.
Yeah.
So again, the question goes back to, if AI is doing all that entry-level work, what are you telling people? What should the next generation of workers be taught? When you have the computer school at UW asking this question.
Run to get a trade. Run. Go jump into a trade. Go become an electrician. Go become a plumber. Go be able to do these things that right now you know that AI is not going to be able to physically come in and do those things. By the way, another profession that is doing really well right now, people now, for a second, they were doing a lot of online training, being physical shape and everything. Like, I don't need a trainer. I don't need a trainer, somebody in the health and fitness. So what has happened is, Ursula, we have all of this information. Here's what you need to do. You can get in shape. You don't need a trainer. All you got to do is, here's the information online. Well, what's happening is they are now in need of people to motivate you to do what you see on that screen. So there's a lot, whatever you do, think about professions that are able to help you deal with people. Now, if you're an introvert and you don't like people, the old days of just learning to code and be a tech bro, I think AI is going to have a lot of that, y'all. So be careful.
This is a real problem, though, because it's not easy to change careers. I've had to do it twice. And I was lucky that I had to do it in my 20s and then early 30s. But by the time you have a mortgage, you have kids and obligations, like going to do something else, you can't accept a job that pays, $27 an hour as an apprentice with a completely flexible shifting schedule all of the time, knowing that you're going to make $50 an hour 4 years down the road. Yeah, I'm talking about trades.
Right.
And there's a lot of people also who can't physically do the trades.
That's true.
You can't go into that at 60. Can't go into that at 55.
Okay. So what you going to do?
I
don't know, man. There's a lot. I don't have the answers.
Well,
I'm just saying it's hard.
I think,
and this is going to be a huge problem.
If you're talking about being at the beginning of your career, I mean, you cannot go wrong by basically critical thinking skills, being flexible, being able to pivot, being good with people, which is what you were saying. Go into the trades. I mean, if you can be an electrician, you're going to be a plumber. They're always going to need that, right? I mean, those jobs are changing, but they're always going to be necessary. obviously. But I think when you're talking about someone further down the road in their career,
go ahead.
You still need to. Same thing applies.
So come on. That's what I want you to say.
Yes.
The word pivot needs to be something that you're ready to do beginning, middle, end of your career. Look, all of us, none of us are immune from. One of the things I think about all the time for me, constantly, is what's next. I'm always what's next. And if you're not someone that person that's saying what's next, write this one down. In life, you're either the hammer or the nail. Figure which one you out.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also other people are saying, I can't, like Chef was just mentioning, you can't leave your job because of other factors that with this time of uncertainty, you're not going to leave to free it up for somebody else. 253 just texted in and said, my wife would retire tomorrow and free up a job for someone, but at $6,000 a month for post-cancer treatment, she needs to keep the job to keep the insurance coverage for another 4 years.
Going back to the job numbers thing, one thing that job numbers and unemployment does not show is the people who are underemployed, working part-time jobs, or the people who have entirely dropped out of the workforce. That happened big time with manufacturing back in like the 80s and 90s, and it's happened a lot recently. We're actually at a 2.5-year low for people who have dropped out of the workforce.
By the way, Ursula, since we've been doing this show, the one thing that I've gotten, there's a few things, but about getting it right. And I want to go back to Bothell because a lot of my brother, I didn't realize Bothell. I didn't realize you guys listen. 206 texts in and says, I've lived in Bothell for 36 years. And the parking situation has just gotten worse and worse with all of the apartments that have come in, and they were requiring 1.5 stalls per unit. Now, with that said, some of the businesses down there have changed their parking lots into pay-for lots. And so I don't think anybody long-term, Bothell would really think that this is a good idea.
And I'll just tell you what happened in my neighborhood, with all the changes in the city of Seattle and lack of parking requirements.
Yeah.
All those big, huge buildings that are now allowed both in the University District, in Ravenna, and Northeast Seattle. My veterinarian moved, I think I mentioned this, my veterinarian moved to one of those buildings, one of those lower offices of one of those big buildings that has no parking.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to scooter several miles to get to the vet. There was no parking anywhere close. So now we have to find a new veterinarian.
Does Scooter still need a veterinarian?
Yes.
I thought.
He's old, 15.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah. Gets regularly checked.
I know, man.
Yes, we still care.
Hey, Scooter, you still breathing?
You do regular checkups?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's probably why he's 15.
Hey, coming up next, Ursula said in Agree to Disagree, she wants to know, is it time to let go the term African American? We do that next. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes, the first place you turn to for breaking news.
Protest outside City Hall.
KIRO News Radio.
James Lynch begins our team coverage live at City Hall.
Now, we are told by SPD that 4 people have been arrested for assault. For more on the counter protesters, we go to Scott Carty.
See a group of another 10 officers come down the steps.
Closures now extended from Washington closer to the stadiums.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and download the KIRO News Radio app to listen anytime.
I bet every one of us knows someone affected by cancer, but how many of us know a child with cancer? I got news for you. Cancer doesn't discriminate and cancer doesn't wait. Hey, it's G. Scott. We're lucky to have Seattle's Children's Hospital as they're leading the charge in pediatric cancer research with revolutionary treatment called immunotherapy. It's a game changer, reprogramming a child's own T cells to find and destroy cancer cells. That means fewer harsh side effects from chemo or radiation and more hope. But here's the hard truth. Pediatric cancer research is severely underfunded. That's why I'm asking you for help. This July, join me and Safeway by donating at checkout. Become an ImmunoHero. Your donation fuels life-saving research and gives families something priceless. More time, more options, more hope. It's easy. Next time you're at Safeway, just say yes to donate. Together, we can fight cancer for all kidkind. Thank you for being an ImmunoHero.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Urkhart, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
The Battle of the Brands Hot Tub Expo is back. Tacoma Mall parking lot. Top brands competing for your business. Deep discounts from Jacuzzi Hot Tubs, Dreammaker Spas, Nordic Hot Tubs, Sundance Spas, even Hydro Pool self-cleaning swim spas. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. Save thousands. Hot tubs from $99 a month. Brands compete. You save. The Battle of the Brands Expo presented by Aquaquip. Tacoma Mall parking lot. On now. Qualified buyers with credit approval pay just $99 a month for a Dreammaker Cabana with $500 deposit, 10.99%, and 144-month term. Other offers available. See us at Tacoma Mall for more details.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Say hello to summer and hello to savings on your very own saltwater hot spring spa. Through May 26th, we have special pricing on the best hot tub you can own and interest-free financing till 2030. It's time to start feeling better every day with a healthy, soothing soak. Are you ready? Learn more at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/radio. That's leaffilter.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Trash is starting to pile up as a strike that started Wednesday morning by Republic Services workers spreads. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson explains.
Trash cans littering the street.
It's supposed to be today.
As trash day comes and goes.
You find out how important it is when they stop doing it.
Workers in King and Snohomish counties stopping trash collections, striking in solidarity with 12 workers in Thurston County currently negotiating a contract.
Trying to get Republic to come back to the negotiating table.
Teamsters say they will picket until a contract is reached.
Republic has not said when the next bargaining session will take place. A shakeup in the race for King County executive. John Wilson says he is suspending his campaign. Wilson was arrested last week after his ex-fiancée accused him of stalking and violating a protection order. Wilson denied those allegations last month on KIRO News Radio's Jake and Spike show.
This has unfortunately been a relationship that has had ups and downs.
No charges have been filed yet in the case. Wilson says he will continue serving as the King County assessor. The White House border czar is coming to the Northwest. Tom Homan tells KTTH's Jason Rantz he'll be visiting an ICE facility in Portland in response to protests and reported attacks on federal officers.
Just to get with the folks at ICE and let them know, look, you're not alone here. The president has your back, secretary's got your back, I got your back.
Homan says he's also looking at whether or not police departments in Washington state are tipping people off to ICE raids and will prosecute if possible. President Trump is on the ground in central Texas now, where flash floods are blamed for at least 120 deaths. More than 160 people are still missing. Video from the scene shows the president talking with first responders about their efforts. A divided federal appeals court has thrown out an agreement that would have allowed accused September 11th mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed to plead guilty and avoid execution. Legal expert Lori Levinson.
Now this goes back to the military courts, and there may or may not be a trial with Mohammed. It's been 24 years since 9/11, but this case is significant and will continue on.
Under the plea deal, he would have had to answer questions from families of 9/11 victims. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 284 points, NASDAQ up 8. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a crash is traffic alternating on State Route 7 southbound near the Pierce County town of Alder. This is Mountain Highway East near the Nisqually State Park trailhead. Roadwork is blocking a lane on the Ballard Bridge in Seattle southbound. Remember, 3 highways will close tonight for maintenance and construction, including southbound 405 in Kirkland, northbound 405 in Renton, and southbound I-5 in Seattle. Traffic brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Get lower home energy bills, cleaner air, and year-round comfort with aerosol duct sealing starting at just $99. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine with highs in the low 80s. It is 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show on this fresh Friday. It is time for us to agree to disagree.
Did you read up on the African American story?
Just did, yeah.
Oh. I was like, I can't believe we're going into this topic, and I have no idea what it's about. So,
I didn't read up on the story.
Hey, I was
so I'm on the same page as you. We're going into this blind.
Okay.
Which is generally how we go into agree to disagree.
Nah, let's be real. Okay. You started to close News Boss earlier.
Yeah, it's open. Agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Actually, just put that story on there to mess with you guys. I want to go in an entirely different direction.
See?
Oh, you don't want to talk about that?
Do you want to?
Sure. Actually, I'm curious.
I don't like African American.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay, so
yeah, well, this is a black writer in the New York Times, and he says that the term is outdated.
Yes.
It was politically correct, woke nonsense to begin with. We don't, nobody calls themselves Irish American, and it's useless at this point.
It is useless. And because what happens is it creates awkward moments. Imagine Chef and Nick hanging out. We're eating a hot dog or a ham sandwich, and we're hanging out like, hey, Gee, so the other day I was at the barbershop. I was at Earl's cutting styles right there in the Central District, and there were a few African Americans in there. Stop right there. As soon as you say that, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, you clearly don't
So I'm giving a PSA. I'm letting y'all know. Most black folks only when it's technically PC, you want to send out an email, you want to cover your butt, you know what I mean?
Or you're writing a story based on the Census Bureau.
Yeah. Outside of that normal conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Roger in University Place says, before you call me African American, be prepared to tell me what part of Africa my ancestors trace back to.
Thank you.
I'm American. Yeah. Not African American, not Haitian American.
No.
I'm an American who happens to be black. I'm okay with being called black, though.
I didn't even read that text. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes.
But I think we're helping a lot of people who are still thinking, I want to be polite. I don't want to come across as being racist. I don't want to. I mean, first and foremost, American. Like, if someone calls me, you're Filipino American, I'm not going to be offended, but I'm an American. I have Filipino heritage as much as I have German heritage.
Right.
But I'm an American.
Gee, I will tell you that before I started doing this show with you, I was exclusively an African American. That's all I used.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You stayed PC, huh?
I don't know. Like, white people have it in their mind that, like, it is rude to say the word black. Like, I don't know, don't point it out or something. And now when I hear somebody say African American, I'm like, tell me you don't have any black friends without telling me you don't have any black friends.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, and then just one other point, because there are many black people here in this country who are from the Caribbean or Europe or other regions that don't identify as African American.
Right.
So also take that into consideration.
Before we move on this topic, ask me how many times I've been at a family barbecue or get together at my house that this has been a topic like, hey, you know what? People really need to start calling us African Americans. Ask me.
Okay, how many times has that ever happened?
Never.
I knew the answer.
Never.
So you're giving everyone in the Gee and Ursula Show audience permission to use the word black.
Now,
Black Americans.
wait. This is
With a
important.
capital
Before we
Yes.
go,
B.
wait. Before we go, there's two things don't do. Don't do it. Tramal, thank you, in Federal Way. Don't do it. One, do not say colored. Don't do it. Don't do it. Also, one more. This is important. You can say black people. You can say black folks. But don't say the blacks. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say the blacks.
This is a PSA for the Gee and Ursula Show.
I'm just, y'all know I would lie to you. I would lie to you.
Gee, that is much appreciated. I'm sure you've helped out a lot of folks.
So that was a good segment. All right, what's next, Sean?
All right, from the cut, my group chat is ruining my life. The writer is trying to figure out how to politely leave a group chat. The question being, should you announce that you're leaving the group chat or just ghost it, Gee?
Well, you don't have to ghost it because it literally says right on there, Ursula has left the chat. It says it right there on the text. Everybody sees it.
Do you give a little heads up, though? I mean, I guess it depends on how big this group chat is. I don't do a whole lot of group chat. Mm-hmm. It's only when we have company meetings, and I'm going to exit real quietly.
Ursula be gone.
Oh, no, Gee. That's you. But when it's a smaller group, like a family thing, or a friend group, I'm going to say something. Just say, hey, I got to, check out. I'll catch you guys later or whatever. I'm not going to just ghost them. I hate ghosting. As much as I hate nagging, I hate ghosting.
Yeah, I see. Basically, what Chef's saying is that if you're a part of this group, you were like, okay, I don't no longer want to be a part of this chat.
Oh,
I think you would not leave.
Ever.
You would stay.
Yeah. You can also mute people. That's a good option because then you don't have to participate. All right, let me get one more in here, though. From the Wall Street Journal's lifestyle section, a woman writes in asking, hey, I go to a lot of parties and I like to wear heels. Do I have to take my shoes off no matter what? So, Gee, should you tell your guests to take your shoes off even if they're dressed up?
Man, That's Lillian be doing that. I don't know why. She is just so.
Well, how do you guys?
Oh no!
Blame Lillian.
No.
How do you guys do it? Do you have a sign up at the front of the?
No. Lillian is just. I mean, again, y'all know. Your delegate, you know, my wife is.
Okay, don't assign it to any kind of delegation. Although certain cultures are very particular about it. But yeah, I'm half Asian, and guess what? I tell people to keep their shoes on.
Yeah.
Unless someone comes with really spiky heels and I have brand new hardwoods, then then it's an issue. But your shoes are part of the fit. I can clean my floors. I want you to feel comfortable when you're in my home.
Nick, did you cut that? What'd you say? You said the shoes are part of the what?
Fit. I've learned from you, Gee.
Well done.
She said fit. All right.
Tell me that you have a black friend without telling me you have a black friend.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you look uncomfortable talking about this. What would you rather? What would you rather in your home?
No. Yeah.
Speak up.
I had it for my birthday. I had people not take their shoes off, and Lillian's still talking about that. She was mad. You saw our good friend Kate in Auburn text in, and she says, "Gee, you might need to mention this." She says, "I'm a white woman, but I hate when people call black women the black girl." Hey, Kate, very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good point. See, that is a little technical, a little deep, but yeah, you might want to stay away from that. It is
conversely, white girl, white boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I think that's disrespectful to be like that white boy or that white girl. Yes. All right. I didn't know we was going to be talking about that, but boy, you know, on the Gee and Ursula Show, that's what we talk about. I just got a text from, all right.
Oh, no.
Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Laugh the night away with comedy icon Rob Schneider at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort on Friday, August 8th.
And then when it comes time to tip.
From SNL fame to hit films, he's bringing his stand-up act to the Rivers Run Event Center.
You know, they just turn the whole terminal around to face me.
Doors at 6:30, show at 7:30.
The first box is 25%. 25?
Tickets start at $79.
I pushed other and I had to make her a cappuccino, but I didn't mind.
Buy now before they sell out. Visit angelofthewinds.com for tickets today.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long, I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money, but it wasn't the case. And we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
With Clear Choice dental implants, one day can make the difference between hiding your smile and saying cheese. Thanks to our dental implant experts, our one-day teeth transformation culminates in your Clear Choice Day, the day when you start loving your smile again. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today. And let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Majority qualify for same-day dental implants after doctor recommendation. Offices owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
Oh, it's the Gee and Ursula Show. I got to tell you, the text messages have been rolling in. Our good friend Rose in Bellevue says to Ursula, I know when you hit 60, you might feel old, but keep on dancing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be 77 next week, and I dance. Rose, I got to tell you, you listen to our show at 77.
It makes me so happy. And
makes my heart happy.
Texting in at 77.
Yeah.
She's so sharp. It's always got some great things to weigh in on, and I love it.
All right.
She's an inspiration to me.
Okay, Ursula, I'm going to go ahead and let you dunk on yourself.
Okay, yeah. Well, there was a no, it's things that you shouldn't say. And someone called me out, rightfully so, because we were talking about you can say black, but not the blacks. You can get rid of African American.
Yeah.
And 206 says, as a redhead, don't say redheaded stepchild either, like Ursula said early. Love you guys. And I wrote her back and I said, I am so sorry. The moment that came out of my mouth, I was like, man, that is just like wrong. You know, and I want to say one other thing.
What's that?
I love redheads. I love the color red for
Ursula.
hair. No, I'm going to tell you right now.
I love the redheads.
I love redheads. No, I mean, look at my hair color. Did I try? I want to put some more red in my hair.
You know what that sounded like.
Yeah, I know I did. Only if you have bad intent, good intent. Okay, on light rail coming to Federal Way.
Oh, News Boss closed.
Oh, tomorrow. Are you kidding me? I'm giving you time right now to open it up, G. No, we have a few more minutes.
Because Lily is going off about
Tamara
keeping shoes on.
in Tacoma says, I've been dying for this for Pierce County. I want our line. I've driven to one of the other lines to events in Seattle, but the problem is you can drive up there and the parking lot is full. So you drive further up north and you might as well just drive. On clicking to cancel being dead now, Bob in the 360 says, I've been trying for 3 months to cancel my Hulu account. I did cut up the credit card and they still charge my new credit card. When I asked the credit card company how they do that, they said Hulu will assign a new number to me so they can find me through that new number and get the new credit card number. I have to dispute the charge every month. Yeah, what? They need to bring back click to cancel.
The hardest thing to cancel is the Microsoft when you go to sign up for the video games. Xbox Live on Microsoft. Let me tell you, the people at Microsoft, I canceled 2-3 credit cards and they was hanging out like roaches back in the day. I don't know if you ever had roaches, but back in the day,
I lived in the Philippines.
Oh, them roaches ain't going nowhere. As soon as you turn the kitchen light on in the middle of the night.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Ursula, I got to point out, Rochelle in the 206 says, I'm sitting here listening with my 77-year-old mom, and she's laughing that you're impressed with a 77-year-old texting in.
Okay.
We don't need to patronize our seasoned citizens.
Keep dunking on Ursula. This is awesome.
Okay. Bothell legalizing neighborhood corner stores. 425 says minimal parking in Bothell is going to be a disaster. There's already been businesses failing because there's no place to park. This is some politician's idea of a modern-day Mayberry.
My News Boss still closed.
Yeah. Start dunking on G. Who's doing all the work? Okay, let's see. Let's do... Anonymous and Sammamish when we were talking about the opioid.
G's Fit.
Oh, where's that?
Okay, G's Fit today. Shannon Gig Harbor says, gee, I kind of dig the shirt. Then again, I'd wear it with my old man cargo shorts and flip-flops. So maybe I'm not the best judge. LOL.
425 says, gee, you look like a UPS driver on a golf course.
Oh, man.
Got to dunk on G at the end, right?
Wesley in Post Fall says, gee, don't listen to the haters. That outfit is top notch.
Oh, awesome.
Just
Stop pandering,
I'm not
Wesley.
going to listen to my haters. And yeah, if I'm impressed that you're texting at 77, I'm impressed that a lot of things are happening when you're in your 70s and your 80s, and I'm good with that.
Words to live by, Ursula. What you got for us? We got to get it.
Honesty is not only about words, but also about actions. It requires aligning your thoughts, your words, and your deeds to create harmony within yourself and in your relationships.
Good stuff.
If nothing else, I am honest.
Yes, you are.
Even though I put my foot in my mouth a lot.
Nick!
Well, it's easy to lose track of those subscriptions that you hold, from some Netflix used a lot to gym memberships going cold. So don't feel refrained from stepping off the gas for these accounts, even if it means you're missing that next episode announced.
Don't you worry about a thing.
It's a perfect time to take a break from streaming anyways and appreciate some weather with the people on the bay. You can even check out G's brown fit with the shoes, as Ursula would say. I think people say fit still.
Oh. By the way, Chef, you made the comment off the air that nobody under the age of 77 is named Rose.
Yeah.
I text that to Sarah because Sarah's mom is named Rose, and she texts back and she says, technically, she's Rosanna. So you were right.
All right.
Oh, well, guess what?
So you're right. Huh.
MEC and Federal Way just texted in and says, I'm 85.
Oh, yeah.
85?
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Be mad at me that I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I want to be texting when I'm 85, okay?
Keep going.
Ursula,
keep going.
You keep digging yourself a hole.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Oh, I'm so impressed that you're texting at 85. 85-year-olds say they can text. They can do it all, Ursula.
My 85-year-old mother did not text.
Oh.
Okay?
We got to go. Ursula, thank you. Chef, thank you. Nick, thank you.
You too.
The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Hey, make sure you hang out with us on Monday. We got a great show planned for you. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
I've got to get a new car, and things are crazy right now. 1 minute costs are up, the next minute it's something new.
Go to Subaru Puyallup. Their stress-free promises never changed. Through natural disasters, supply hiccups, you name it.
So they're still holding today's prices?
Yeah, they have over 300 Subarus still at current rates and guaranteed stress-free pricing and trade-ins. You should get in now.
I really need to swing by there. Want to go with?
Let's go.
Secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing